What's up, everyone? Dave Bush here, Kansas Sports HQ host, episode 10, Friday Night Lights on Halloween. We'll catch up on last night's action with the playoffs. We have a special guest, Brodie Jarvis. But first, we got to throw it out to Booth Creek Wagyu for providing us breakfast. We have a wonderful steak here, steak and eggs. So thank you so much. It was awesome being at the mixer last night, and we're excited to have Sheldon Howell, Sean Cutler, and myself here. So ready to kick it off. How's everyone doing while you stuff your mouths?
Who are the eggs provided by?
Oh, probably the fridge or Sean, you know.
Steak.
Oh, do it. Let me know how it is. That is a BC 30 rated Denver KC strip. Yeah. She told me it was the best one, and we tasted a ton of them yesterday. We had the chili, we had the pot roast, we actually had a corn crab chowder, a salmon like salad type thing, and then as I was getting ready to roll out, this guy walks up to me and was like, "Hey man, you look like you could use a kebab."
Well, yeah.
So I definitely went out and tried the kebab. Phenomenal. Love all of the things that they're doing there. Looking forward to a partnership there. Maybe they'll be involved some way, somehow with Kansas Sports HQ, the KCLB, and their golf tournament and whatnot. But
that's where we met them the first time. Right?
Yeah, we met them at the ESPN golf tournament. They handed us a half a Wagyu breakfast burrito that blew our minds. And then
was it the same gal that was at the tournament?
Yeah.
She still works.
Yeah.
That burrito was delicious.
Yeah.
So you spent all night with some meat in your mouth, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm glad your mouth isn't close to the microphone at all. But yes.
He spent all night with some meat in his mouth.
I called it a meet and greet, the MEAT and greet. It was super cool. And then they had a sommelier there testing out some wines from the deep parts of Mexico, and that was super cool. And then they had a live.
Was it just like a showcase for their place?
Yeah, just like a hey, check us out kind of deal. They had an artist there, I think Brandon Steele. He sounded really good,
Yep.
and it was actually just a wonderful, wonderful experience. And so thank you for having us out, and thank you for providing us breakfast today. I mean,
yeah,
you know, we'll have this. This bag's pretty cool too. So I imagine we'll be visiting there. I did try their beef jerkies.
What are those?
Nope, didn't bring any. You would love the ghost pepper one.
Very rarely do I have the guys cooking Wagyu beef in the morning time. So this is a nice little treat to start our Friday. A little post-workout for Sean too. So straight to the protein. That's good for the body. Nicely done. Awesome. Well, that was delicious. So for anybody out there that might be listening, definitely go get you one of those. Thank you for cooking that, Dave. That was awesome. Those are really good. Really good.
I turn them into medallions, you know.
Great size, great flavor. Everything was solid. But yeah, no, I'm excited about this podcast. It's going to be fun. It's just kind of a good weekly recap. I think that the one thing that I've heard this week the most is that everybody's like going crazy that we're doing a podcast every day. And they're like, what? Like, how? Why? And we're like, dude, we just got a lot of stuff to talk about. Like, we got a lot of cool things. So, and there's a lot of things that are pretty fun and happening around town. And obviously, it's Halloween, so there's going to be all kinds of different things happening there. Maybe next year we'll dress up on the podcast for Halloween in comparison to us all wearing our normal gym clothes today. But
nope.
You could dress up as a little, I don't know, football player or something.
Nope.
So, quick recap on some scores. You have Maize South losing to Goddard, 27-24.
That was a close game. I saw some highlights of that last night.
Yep. And then we have Eisenhower versus Hayes. Eisenhower, fizzled. 49-29. Hayes number 5 in their 5A class.
Pap has still had a big night though.
He always does.
Always does.
Mr. Reliable.
Garden Plain whacked Douglas 56-14.
Dang.
And then just scrolling down here.
I'm trying to get Bishop Carrol. I'm trying to get Brock Pedruzzi on the pod.
Yeah,
They won last night.
Enough.
I think they beat Valley Center. It was 14. Is that what he said?
14.
14-0. So that's their first playoff win, he said, since 2022.
Oh,
Which
wow.
he says that like it's a really long time, but it's not. But still, like it's a few
It's
years.
big. It's big for a first-time O-line coach.
That, but then also Carroll is typically in the playoffs, so you would think that they'd be winning more of those games. So congrats to those guys. Obviously, new head coach out there, new coaching staff out there. So that's always a kind of a cool bit to get one of those back in your first year of kind of running a new system and doing the whole thing. So
Sure.
a lot of work goes into that for sure. You guys, as we all know, Brock has been on fire about all the stuff that they're doing over there. So hopefully I can have him on. He might even be able to hop onto this. I think maybe he was celebrating last night, might have slept in past his alarm.
Who knows?
We'll see.
We had, some first-round games that are going to be played tonight. You have Capon taking on El Dorado. Capon is number 4. You have Great Bend taking on Newton.
That'll probably be a bloodbath for Capon. Who? Newton and who?
Newton and Great Bend.
Probably Great Bend by a lot.
Yeah, you have Garden City and Manhattan.
Probably Manhattan.
Mulvane and Circle tonight. Ooh, that might be a big game.
That might be a good game.
I wonder how that's going to affect the...
I'm guessing they're in the middle of the standings.
Mulvane is 7-1 and Circle is 1-7.
Okay, never mind.
You have Andover Central versus Abilene. Those guys are neck and neck, and they're in one game difference there. You have Pratt and Chaparral, McPherson and Augusta, and then... Let's see here. Maize versus Wichita North. Tonight.
Okay.
8-0 versus 0-8.
Yeah, the defeated.
Woof.
Well, Brodie will probably give us a little bit of insight at the game plan there.
Yeah, Wellington versus Arc City tonight. Dodge City versus East. Hutch versus Emporia. Andover versus South. Junction City versus West. Derby versus Topeka. Northwest versus Hayesville Campus. And those are most of the games around our area.
Nice. Yeah. I don't know the logic or why they do the breakup the way that they do. Maybe it's just the way that the playoff bracket is. It's easier to get those first games out of the way, so that way it plays into the next week or something. I don't know. I don't know why they split them up the way they do, but maybe travel too. Maybe some of those are the farther traveling games or something like that. I think that would make that harder, but who knows? I don't know. Some good games, some competitive games. Well, let's get on. Let me see here.
Nothing like your season ending and then having to go to school the next week.
Oh, look who it is. Mr. Brock Pedruzzi texting me or calling me right now.
Sorry, bro. We're on the podcast that you're missing out on for now.
Here, go ahead.
Sean, go ahead and, let's talk about the day. How was your workout while I, eat the rest of this steak?
Oh, it was fine. Finally got my butt up in the morning, got moving. A little legs. I finished with some leg press. Been a while since I did that. Food was good though, and looking forward to taking a nap this afternoon.
Oh, nice. Brodie Jarvis just joined us. What's up, man? How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Good, man. What's up here? Let me see. Getting my screen all put together. There we go. There we go. Dang, the Letterman jacket. This guy's ready to rock. Look at him.
Did Coach Rosas tell you that I reached out to him?
Yeah, Coach JJ texted me yesterday.
Okay, cool.
Yes, sir.
Nice. You guys don't do the jerseys before the game thing? That's been a big topic of discussion here for the pod over the last couple of days.
That jersey is super tight, so it's kind of uncomfortable.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Fair enough. Well, nice, man. Well, thanks for hopping on. I know we were trying to get you scheduled. Obviously, you guys have school when we're trying to kind of record these things, so they're kind of hard to put on there, but we're excited to learn a little bit more, one, about you, but then also just, obviously Maize's football program's kind of going off right now. So we want to learn a little bit about, you, what's happening in the season, your guys' teammates, your coaching staff, just ask you some questions and get some feedback from you. So I'm just going to kind of start out by doing that. First and foremost, you guys are having an awesome season.
Thank you.
Obviously some solid players. I feel I follow your dad and I know each other just on Facebook and stuff like that. And obviously you've been around the baseball community as well too, which is kind of where I'm a little bit more heavily involved in comparison to football. But so that's kind of how I know your name and know of you anyway. Every time I see a post from him, it's like, oh, Brodie with another pick six. Brodie with another pick six. I'm like, golly, dude, this dude is just ball hawking out there. So tell us a little bit, what positions are you playing for the team? Kind of just run us through the season a little bit with what's going on, and then we'll just keep asking some questions from that.
Yeah, there I'm just corner. We get good pass rush, so it leads me to getting those picks. our coaches do a good job of mixing up zones and coverages. So it's a whole team thing. It's not just me, but it's a great feeling getting those picks and helping the team out.
Have you set like a school record for pick sixes? Like what
I
is that? I know you gotta be eyeing it.
I don't know about the pick sixes, but I know the picks. I need 3 more picks to get the school record.
Wow. So
Yeah.
are you at 6?
Yeah, I'm at 6.
Dang, that's awesome, dude. That's a lot.
Thank-
That
I mean,
is a
that's
lot.
that's dang near a pick every game. What do you guys? You're 8-0 right now?
Yes, sir. We host North High tonight. We're the 1 seed.
Yeah, North is my alma mater, or at least that's where I graduated from. I went to Carroll as well too, but football is we had like 2 good football players there when I went to high school there. And I don't know if they have any good football players there this year at all. I have no idea. I know that I don't think they've won a game is what Dave just told us, so
Yeah. So
yeah.
my
Fair enough.
how bad their football team was when he was in high school too. So
Yeah. Well, don't overlook them. Can't ever overlook the opponent. Obviously, got to make sure you guys go in handle some business. Tell us a little bit about your teammates. Your quarterback's obviously a big time recruit. Everybody's been talking about him. I don't even know that kid's name. We talk about that up here. I don't know his name. What is his name?
Brad Maivilla,
Maivilla.
pretty hard
Maivilla.
last name.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
I've heard it a couple of different times, but again, I'm more in the baseball community than I am on the football side. So, but obviously he's, getting some attention, doing some different things. How is it going against, obviously in practice, right? Like, so getting to, practice against somebody who is getting a lot of attention, a lot of recruitment, a lot of that type of stuff, like with his skill set, do you feel like that's been able to help you kind of, uptick your game a little bit? Obviously you're having a great season and have a lot of good things rolling for you. Do you accredit, any of that, to that, I guess?
Yeah, I would say our offense helps us a lot. Even our defense helps them a lot too. So it's just a whole team success. Practices have been great this year. A lot of energy. It's just fast paced, getting going, getting ready, and then getting out.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, you guys look great. It's been, like I said, it's been fun to kind of see it on the sidelines, I guess, and just kind of see the different pieces and how it all kind of comes together. It's fun watching high school football. There's a lot of
It's
good
fun.
teams around the state. There's a lot of competitive action and just different things there. But tell us a little bit about your coaching staff. Who all is on coaching staff? Who's your positions coach? Maybe let us into a little insight of kind of how you guys do things. What's the day-to-day kind of looking like? How do they, kind of get you guys ready for games? Hopefully, obviously, our goal is to kind of reach other athletes and show other people, kind of the lifestyle of what high school athletes go through and what they're doing. And I'm sure, and I know kind of some of your aspirations, obviously playing in college, and so like, what are some of the things that you're doing to kind of separate yourself?
Hey, real quick. So in 2002, most of your coaching staff played against me at Derby.
Mhm.
So, and we steamrolled it, you guys, in
Okay.
2002,
Yeah,
right?
had a jab.
So when I see Coach Fred Roses out there, I grew up with him and all that good stuff. So real quick, how good was it beating Derby this year?
It felt great. Fan of those guys. They're a good football team, but it's
It was
always
a
good.
packed house. It was a packed house.
Yeah, it was packed.
Awesome. Well, sorry to interject there. I just wanted to throw that out there that
good.
I know most of your coaching staff.
Yep. Practice. Rocky Helm, he's the head baseball coach here. He's our DB's coach. He gets us ready. We do a whole bunch of indie stuff, individual period, just doing back pedals, going through DB work, footwork, and then Fred does all the linebacker stuff. Great coach. And then JJ is the head defensive coordinator. We go over through formations every day at practice, go over film, and then Thursday night we have meetings, just setting the goals on tomorrow on Friday. So we just get ready day in and day out.
Nice. Yeah, there's a lot of work that goes into it. I think football's, it's a super dynamic sport, and that's kind of the part that people, they see the game, they see all the action, but they don't really see the preparation. And the preparation is the hard part. And, that's why a coaching staff makes such a big difference in that aspect. And I guess that, that kind of leads me to a question too with Rocky. Obviously, I know him through baseball and all the things that he's been doing with that program for a really long time. He's been there for forever. What's it like being able to have your head baseball coach also coach you in football? And, obviously if you've been playing there, as long, are you a junior or are you a senior?
Senior, yep. You sir.
Yeah. So you've been there, working and playing under him, for 4 years, right? So how is that, dynamic there? How much does that help you guys, on the field, off the field, right? Like being able to, kind of have that consistency, with that same guy being in the, as a two sport, kind of feel.
I say our relationship is one of the best relationships. I love that guy. Probably my favorite coach. I look up to him. He's like a mentor to most of us. Since most of the baseball players will play football just because of Rocky. He just gets us ready for the next level, and he's such a great dude.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that would be it's kind of an advantage, right? Like being able to have just you don't have to, start new relationships every year and expect or unexpected different pieces of what's going on. Like he has a standard, obviously been running those programs for a long time and very successful in that light. And so being around that winning culture and being around someone who's, all about it is kind of a cool bit. But let's ask some off topic ones, right? Who's your favorite college team?
KU, yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. When you're looking into college, because that's right around the corner, have you committed anywhere yet? Are you thinking one
I've
school or the
I've
other?
few coaches. I haven't committed anywhere. I'm not
Okay.
locked in yet.
Fair enough.
Hopefully by the end of baseball, I'll be locked in.
Gotcha. Are you leaning baseball, leaning football?
Leaning more baseball, but I mean, if there's a better offer for football, I'll take it.
Right. Just wanting to go and wanting to play. I like
Yeah.
that. Okay. Having the drive of being able to do it, which is awesome.
What's your 40 time then? Let's do a little recruit video,
Like a 4.6, 4.7 around there.
Not bad.
Not bad, not bad. What
Nice.
about your 60 time?
I have to look that up, but it's pretty good. I'd say
Always say pretty good.
Yeah,
Never say
yeah.
average, right? It's better than average at all times. No, that's awesome, man. So with it and, kind of coming into the postseason, have you guys feeling any type of pressure? I mean, what's kind of the team, kind of the team culture, the team vibe, right? What's going through your head as you look into going in? I don't even know what they call them, is it regionals, right? Whatever. What's been kind of the message, right? Because we talked about this on a pod yesterday, I think, or it might have been 2 days ago, whenever it was, but we talk about like going into the postseason. It's like, it's basically like you're starting not the season over, but it's like you're starting kind of your new quest or the new mission, right? And
You have to flip the
everybody's
switch.
everybody's got to flip the switch and kind of line in with, what's our job now, right? Like it's one game at a time. Like we're not looking past this game that we have. Like everybody's, locking in on those assignments and what it is, right? Like that's what it is. And for us, like we had talked about how coaches kind of approach, each individual athlete and say, hey, this is what we're expecting of you. This is your job, and this is all the behind the scenes stuff that not everybody really knows about, right? So what's that kind of been like? What have the coaches been doing?
yeah, I mean,
Lean into
yeah,
that?
every week is, I mean, we're all 0-0 right now, so it's just one game at a time. Obviously there's pressure, but we're not going to let that get to us. Our team chemistry is so good right now. I mean, we've been playing since 5th and 6th grade together, so I mean, nothing can really tear us down right now. So I feel we're pretty high. We're riding high right now, but we can't let that get to us. So there's good vibes on right now. So
Awesome.
we keep working.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Who's your favorite teammate?
My favorite teammate?
Yeah, if you got to pick one.
Pick one. I mean, I love all of my dudes. All my dudes are all great.
Well, I know, but you got to pick one.
I got to pick one. You got to do this to me right now?
Yeah.
It's probably Scotty Hadley. I've been pretty close with him for a while.
What's he play? What's his position?
He plays he's like a hybrid safety guy. Like he gets down to he's a dirtbag is what we call him.
Yeah. No, I love that. That's awesome.
Hey, I'm just curious. What's your pregame routine? Like we discussed this. Yeah, we discussed this with another athlete, and his caffeine intake is about as much as he weighs, if not more.
Do you know Braden Pappas by chance?
I've heard of him. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was riding high at 600 milligrams of caffeine before noon when we talked to him. So, what's your pregame routine? Like, what do you do to get hyped, to get ready and then to go show out?
I honestly, we do team stretching, and then after team stretching, I'll go to a corner and do my little prayer, and then go back in the locker room. And I don't listen to a whole bunch of rap. I like country and some slow music. just to let me relax for the game. And then I just kind of get my mind right the rest of the night and get ready for the game.
You don't smash an energy drink over your head and then shotgun
No.
it as fast as you can. Nothing. You're just ready to go.
Yeah, I'm just ready. I can't do that. It's bad. I'm all jittered up, shaky.
Oh, dude, that dude. Yeah, he's a freaking lightning bolt. I don't know.
Well,
But that's awesome. Well, I mean, we appreciate that. I think that's cool having a little bit of kind of solace before the game, trying to focus, trying to just, keep everything right in front of you, not worrying too much, not overthinking things, like just kind of getting into your groove. And I was like that a lot. So I definitely resonate with that. Like I was very chill and just wanted to, not have a lot of different things going through my head. I didn't want to think about extra stuff. Like I was just focused on the game and then trying to get into that kind of flow state, right? Like just going out there and doing, what you've worked so hard for in the off seasons, right? And really just, stepping onto the field and then just letting the play kind of happen, right? And just, know that you're prepared, know that you're ready to go and making it, kind of your own. And so I resonate with that a lot because that was kind of my thing. I was a big R&B guy in college. Like I just listened to a bunch of like R&B style music, which I don't know, for whatever reason, it just chilled me out. And like, I don't even remember what I listened to exactly, like artists and things like that, but it was just very chill stuff and kept me kind of even keel. But what's your playlist like? Give us a couple songs since you're in the mix of it right now. Like what's your first song that you put on almost every game?
It don't really matter. It's all different. It's what I feel like. So it's always Chris Stapleton first. I always got to go with him first.
Okay.
Guitar play, and then I'll play some John Mayer. I don't know if you guys know who John. But
yeah, we're not that old.
We're
dude.
not that
Come
old.
on.
We know John Mayer.
So I love John Mayer, but that's who I
Sean,
listen to.
actually, Sean's only 25. Okay.
Yeah.
Sean's
Yeah.
over here.
Yeah,
he is
here. He's here. He's full of his breakfast.
Oh, he's full from breakfast. I didn't
Oh
even
yeah,
have breakfast.
we had steak and eggs this morning for breakfast. That's how we
Ooh.
started the podcast
We
today.
had steak dinner last night for team dinner. It was
Oh
pretty
yeah,
good.
who puts that on for you? I've seen the pictures of that.
Oh,
Is it just like parents and
yeah. I mean, we all switch off every week. We
Nice.
hosted last
okay?
Yeah.
What'd you guys have? You said you had steak last night.
steak last night. Yep.
Nice. What's been your favorite pregame meal?
Pre-game meal. I always like them Rice Krispie treats
Oh,
and some Gatorade.
I didn't hear what you said there. It cut out on us.
You said Rice Krispie treats and then a big
Gatorade.
pile of Gatorade.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Rice Krispie treats and Gatorade. Is that a good pre-workout?
Yeah.
We'll
That's
call
what
it
I've
the
heard.
Brodie Jarvis pre-workout.
That's not
That's what I've
bad.
heard.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. Well, nice, man. Well, tell us a little bit, walk us through what you're doing in your off season. Obviously, I run, we do Wichita Parisi Speed School over here. So performance training, that's kind of a big part of our stuff that we're talking about and stuff. What do you do in your off season? What's kind of your, routines? What's your stuff that you kind of lock into? Obviously, you're playing at a super high level, so I'm sure that you're doing something that I talk about all the time, and we've said on the pod multiple times is, you know, these high level high school athletes that are having success, they typically aren't just rolling off the couch and showing up for just school related activities, and then next thing you know they're doing really well, right? Like you typically are going to be relatively disciplined outside of your school weights and school things, and you're doing stuff outside of that, right? So for somebody who's looking in who may not know you, right, like walk us through some of your off season routines, right? Like what is some of the stuff, which granted for you, like you got baseball in there as well too. I don't know, you do anything winter sport wise?
Not necessarily, no.
Okay, so that's probably a good off season
Yeah.
time for you, right? Like what's your focus is there? What are the things that you're working on?
Well, my main focus is just baseball after football. Like once football's straight into baseball, because, like you said, Rocky standards, high level. We want to get the job done. We want to get that state championship. So just focusing on that. But yeah, working out day in, day out, and then having baseball on top of that 2 times a week. And then even if I want to get an extra day in of just hitting and fielding, I'll do that during the weekends. And then I'll give myself some time to relax, just to recover. Because especially with football, your body's just tired. You're just sore all the time. But, just getting ready for baseball is a big goal. So
Awesome, man. And I know you play. Do you still play with Wes over with Willowall?
sir, yep.
Nice.
Yep.
I actually coached Wes back in the
You
day.
did?
So
Okay.
it's been a little bit since then. When he was coming out of college, or he was technically still in college, is when I coached him. So yeah, him and I have a great relationship. So shout out to Wesley over at the dojo with the Willow Wall. He's doing great things over there, man. He is a great baseball mind. Also just a good dude. Like he truly cares about the guys that he works with and trying to help them, develop, but also, have their backs and kind of teach them, the ropes of playing at a high level. So I love the stuff that he's doing. Because he does a really good job and he cares about his kids, which I think is, a big thing. But
Mm-hmm.
you go over there in the winter times, like hitting on all his stuff, and that's what mainly your off season stuff. You spend it over there with him.
I mean, all the time, and then sometimes I'll just go over there and hang out with him, just how good of a guy he is, and whatever. Like, so
I love it, man. I love it. Well, let's switch it up a little bit. A couple other random questions. Let's talk NFL. You like an NFL team?
Yeah, I'm a Cowboys fan.
Never in the pod.
End it.
Well,
I got a good
guy. Mute him.
I got a good reason.
Okay, let's hear it. What's the
All right.
origin story?
My grandma's always been a Cowboys fan, and then
Okay.
my dad is a big Cowboys fan. So
Okay, so it runs in the family.
yeah.
So you like misery?
No, it's terrible.
Yeah. Well,
Don't worry, I'm riding in the wheelchair train. If you can see the emblem behind me.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
Very
that's what
nice.
Green Bay calls that old Lambeau South because we typically don't lose down there. So the tie this year was just really weird.
Yeah.
That was just a back and forth, just funky game. But the tie's
Weird.
actually helping us a lot right
Yeah,
now.
for
So
sure.
Yeah,
we're
it
leading
is.
the NFC just because we have that tie. So I don't know. Might be a strategy thing moving forward.
Do you guys like the tie in the NFL? Do you guys like it?
No, I mean it helps them, but no, I don't. I think it's silly.
I
because
didn't
it
know.
helps
I didn't
them.
know how much it helped the record until we actually tied someone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the only reason I like it. I like it if you tie and then you end up winning a bunch of games because then you have a slight edge when it comes to getting the number one seat. And that's like, if you can do that, then cool. But obviously, if you lose, then it's going to hurt you. So it's just, I guess it's just another.
It's a neutral conference thing. So like, there's nothing there. So you never had a win or a loss in your conference. So it helped you.
Yeah, and you just get the winning percentage. So
I took a deep dive into that little mathematical type thing, and no, I don't really like that.
I love it right now.
I mean, neither one of your teams want to see me in the playoffs.
No, I probably won't even make the playoffs. So
Yeah,
Our defense.
Are you ready for Trey Lance to take over?
Dak Prescott's doing a great job right now.
Dak is doing fine.
Yeah.
Anybody that says he's not isn't paying attention. He is not the issue there. Not even slightly.
The defense
The defense is atrocious.
So because you guys are both right here, how bad did it hurt when Parsons was traded to the Packers? Because this guy across from me celebrated, instantly ordered a jersey, which will be here today, but instantly ordered a jersey.
I mean, I didn't really ever like Parsons, to be honest with you. I mean, he's a great player, but I didn't like him the things he would say. I was just like, I'm not really a big fan of you. But obviously, it hurt the team because our pass rush is terrible. But, always hurts the guy. It hurts to lose a guy like that every year. So I mean,
it was great for us. Great, absolutely great for us. We highway robberyed you guys.
Yeah.
So those maybe Jerry Jones will figure out how to draft. I don't know. And
Maybe
take
he
those
just needs
two
to
picks
quit being
and
the
do
biggest
something.
fan and GM. He just needs to be a fan and owner.
he's terrible.
That's funny. Yeah, no, it was a wild day. I was like in shock when I got that, and I was just like, what? What'd you say?
I said I didn't think they'd go through with the trade.
I didn't think anybody thought they would, to be quite honest. Like, I think it was just the rumorville, and then the night before that, I started just getting all kinds of notifications on X of all these things of, this might be real, they're talking, blah, 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 all these insiders, and you kind of take those with a grain of salt because you just don't know who's really got info and who doesn't, kind of a thing. And then when that broke, I was actually here coaching and training somebody, and I just I had to sit down for a second. I was just like, wait a minute here.
I was
I
like, are you serious?
Yeah. I mean, I like Kenny Clark too, and that's obviously the guy that you got, but he's over a 10-year vet for us. So like, he's a guy that has been a part of them as long as I've, been around plus time. But, it's just, it's crazy. Very rarely do you see those types of styles of blockbuster trades and all the things, but well, awesome, man. Well, we appreciate you hopping on with us. We just like to get to know, kids in our community and, kind of highlight you. You're having a super successful season.
Thank you.
Record or no record, you have made an impact, on the field, and I think that's really, really cool. And I hope that obviously, if football ends up knocking at your door, it's something that you can take advantage of. I know your level and what you do in baseball, and have followed you there for a while. So, it's pretty cool seeing, success on both fields. And, obviously that's attained by all of your dedication, your hard work, the stuff that you're doing outside of, the norm. And, that's what we like to highlight on here is just all of those different pieces. So we always kind of ended up when we're, talking with people, if you're wanting, you want to say, excuse me, like one thing, to the kid, maybe that incoming freshman or the freshman that's on the team right now, looking and eyeing, being able to take a spot and do some things, like what's your advice, right? What do you tell people that might watch this that give them a little bit of an insight to, your thought process, the things that you learned along the way? And then obviously, as you're getting ready to kind of put down the high school career and then look into the college career, right? What are the things, or it doesn't have to be one thing, it can be a few things, right? What have you learned along the way that you would like to pass down to the next generation of, athletes coming up?
It goes way quicker than you think. So just don't take that time for granted. Be with your boys. Make those relationships with your coaches. And it's fun. Just have fun with it. Don't stress about it. It's just all about fun. And then you get to the next level, and it might be different. I don't know. I haven't got there yet, but just don't take it for granted.
Awesome, man. Awesome. That's great advice because it does go fast. And
Yeah.
then you will eventually be old and looking back and saying, oh, wow, like that was 10 years ago, 15 years ago. You know what I mean? Like it continues to fly by. So, take advantage of your days, stack your days on top of each other, keep working hard. But yeah, man, we appreciate you hopping on. I know you're at school and don't have a ton of time. So enjoy your game day.
Sounds good. Thanks
Obviously,
for having me.
yeah, I'll reach out to you. I'd love to, get with some of your teammates, have some of your teammates on, talk to them, just try to continue to highlight you guys as a program and
Absolutely.
keep kind of growing there. We'll make sure that we follow you on our socials and all that stuff. And just kind of hopefully you have a great game tonight. Maybe
Plus one pick,
maybe 3 picks. I don't know. Like, go do what you got to do. You know what I mean?
Get that record, boy.
Handle some business.
Right.
So,
Yep. Sure.
awesome, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate you hopping on.
Sir, thank you.
Have a good day.
Too.
All right.
Good old
I feel like
Brode.
it is it's still there. Booth Creek Wagyu.
It is still there.
It's like it's just the flavors. It was a wonderful breakfast and all of that good stuff. So what do we got now? What's Brock up to? Is he wanting to jump on here while he's laying in his bed acting like he's got stuff going on?
I hope so. He should be on here soon. We'll see.
Sean, how you doing, man? I just
You awake, Sean?
Yes.
Oh, he is awake. He's here. No questions for Brodie, huh? Just unlike Maize.
I had questions, but it just moves too fast for me. So
We're just
It's
gonna have
alright.
to segment Sean in for his
I
question.
mean, well, the funny thing is like, nah, it doesn't matter.
No, their program's really good. It's cool to see. I'm sure they do. I don't know. I didn't look at their roster or anything, but I wouldn't be surprised if you saw on their roster where they've got 4, 5, 6, 7 of their starters, each side of the ball that are probably one playing multiple sports, but 2 baseball guys in there as well too. Like they got some pretty, sizable kids, athletic kids. Like they run a good overall program. Hence why they're, winning a bunch of games. So.
What's up?
There we go.
Oh.
Second guest of the day just woke up from his celebration last night from his first playoff victory as a high school football coach. First ever playoff win. How's it feel?
Brock Pedruzzi, Bishop Carrol.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It was just thinking about it last night, like after it happened, it was kind of surreal, I mean, it's a lot of first playoff wins for a lot of us. Like it's our head coach's first playoff win. It's our he's our offensive coordinator. He's our first year offensive coordinator. So it was his first win. And then a lot of the first year, freshman coaches that we have, we let that, we're all kind of a big group. So we let them, they're always on the side. A couple of them are on the sidelines with us or up in the box helping us out. So it's their first playoff win too. So it wasn't just mine. It was a lot of us. So it was kind of cool to experience that all together.
Yeah.
It's fun. So, and it was a pretty good game. I mean, not the score we wanted. Well, the scoreboard didn't reflect what we wanted, but it was a good game. It was a
Yeah.
good game. So.
Yeah. Well, let's do a little preface there. This is Brock Pedruzzi, the, I guess, technically assistant offensive line coach at Bishop Carrol. Also performance coach here at Parisi. Also an ex-Parisi Select athlete. So has quite a bit of ties here in the sports community. Brock, just so the people kind of hear a little bit about you, introduce yourself a little bit. Where did you play? Tell us about your position. Obviously, you played at Bishop Carrol, but where did you play after Carroll? What was your kind of career looking like?
Gotcha. Shit, like you said, Brock Pedruzzi. I am an ex-Parisi athlete, so I started going to Parisi like beginning of high school, I think freshman year, and I played all 4 years at Carroll. Finished off at Carroll as a right tackle, and then got recruited to go play center at Coffeyville. Made the roster there as a freshman. Won the conference championship with them, and then got recruited to Missouri Western State the year after. Was only there for a year and hurt my back. Had to medically retire. So moved back home, kind of got out of the sport for 2 years, and then was like, hey, I want to start coaching. That's when I had talked to you about it too. And then you offered to have me come coach at Parisi. And I coached at Parisi for, what was it been, like 6 months, I think?
Yeah, right around there.
Somewhere around there, 6 months around there. And then while I was coaching there, I obviously got the job as the assistant offensive line coach at Bishop Carrol. So
Yep. Amazing career thus far. Young and on fire and just changing some lives, getting after it. You bring the energy everywhere you go. So that's definitely something that we hear all the athletes talking about, and all the football boys are excited. How's Carroll's season been thus far, right? Walk us through what's your guys' record. Obviously it was big news. You guys had an upset win, or if you want to call it upset win, but walk us through the season thus far. Tell us a little bit about that.
Dude, it's been awesome. Blessed to be in the position I'm in right now. Truly, really, it's been awesome. So we're 6-3 currently with the playoff win last night, right? Which it's actually really cool to think about. I was kind of telling some of these guys, or not telling, but like talking about it with some of the coaches and stuff yesterday. I'm like, kind of look at what you're in right now. Like last season they ended 2-7, and then now you get a whole bunch of new coaches. The new head coach, and now we're 6-3. And a first playoff win since 2022, so it's been a great season. We were kind of flatlining there at the beginning of the season where we lost to Northwest, beat Southeast, lost to McGinnis, beat South, beat Hutch, or not Hutch, Heights, beat Heights, and then lost to Capon. And then after, the Capon loss, it was really cool, because I know not just from my position group, but because I've told them all season, I'm like, guys, it doesn't matter who we play, how good they are, what the score is. You will play the exact same way every team, every week, the exact same way. Foot on the gas pedal, lighten them up, just full go. I don't care what it is. And they really showed that at the end of the Capon game was, even though we were down by a lot, I was like, guys, how do you want this to end? We're not going to win. How do you want it to end? And they went out there, moved the freaking ball, and we at least got another score. And that was kind of, that attitude kind of carried over to the next week, where we shut out East, and had a great game there. So it's been that attitude the rest of the season. I mean, talk about the big win last week against Derby.
Rub it in. Tell Dave all about it.
Yeah, eat it, Dave. No, it was awesome. That was awesome. I mean, first it was kind of funny because, well, I'll finish telling this first, but so. Our head coach, his message going to Derby week was, he legit was like, I don't care about Derby. I don't care how good they are. I don't care what the record is. Like, it was the same kind of thing I was telling the O-line, like, guys, I don't care who it is. Go freaking light them up. Sure enough, we go in and go up 24-7 by the third quarter, and so, I mean, it's been a great attitude the whole team has had. It's a big, confident attitude. I mean, to where, heck, the defense just pitched their second shutout of the season, last night. I don't remember a season where the defense has had 2 shutouts in one season. Like, our defense is on fire also. Like, it's been a really good season so far. We're hoping to make a deep run in the playoffs. Just beat Valley Center last night, and then Great Bend and Newton play tonight. So we'll play the winner of that game next Friday.
So would you say what part of the season would you say the entire culture changed for the team? I mean, I know there's a new coach, new foundations were put in place at the beginning of the season, but like the culture changes
Yeah.
is basically what you're talking about. So what part of the season do you feel like that completely just
So
caught fire?
yeah. I'm a big culture guy in general, right? I've been around the kind of thing I'm preaching to my guys, right? My entire life, you know. I mean, shoot, even in high school, not necessarily was it my high school coaches that did that, but I was around D1 players that were like, "Hey, if you don't pancake someone, you're weak." You know, like go freaking light them up. And Coffeyville was the same thing. Like we're just, we won the conference championship because we just didn't, we didn't care about anybody else. We wanted to just go beat everybody, and then Missouri Western kind of thing. So, and even around there, it was kind of all the same thing. So I tried to instill that from day one. I told these guys like, hey, being a young coach, I told these guys, I was like, listen, I'm not here to relive some former glory. I'm not here, this isn't about me anymore. Obviously, this is about you guys. Like, I want to give back to you. I want to make you guys better players. I want this program to be like it was when I was here. Like we had a good team my senior year. And so I want that to be the same kind of thing. And so I told them I'm a big culture guy. Here's what we're going to change. Here's what I want the attitude to be, the mentality, And that took a little bit to take, for them to take to it. They did a pretty good job over the summer. As far as, and Coach Jackson's preached that since day one too. Like he's been like, hey, this is a new team. We know who we are. We're going to change it. God, it's hard because we've seen, I thought it might've, I want to say when we played South, because, Northwest, that loss was pretty tough because we had them by halftime, and then they kind of just went away with it. We beat Southeast, which was a good, okay, we're not a bad team. We're still a good team. And then the one to McGinnis, that was the one where it was like, okay, how do you want to respond to that one? That one could have been like, okay, it's game 3. We're at 1-2. They kind of beat it. They are we going to look at it like they beat us down, or are we going to be, are we going to nut up and go be a better team? And that's when we took the 2 wins back to back with South and Heights. And so that's when I think it's like, okay, yeah, no, we can do this. And then even because then it really showed against Capon. I mean, Capon, that was important to us, So it's like, how do you respond to that? I told my guys, I was like, guys, how do you want to respond? Sure enough, we go out and shut out East, and then we beat Derby. So I mean, that's I think it took up until weeks 4 or 5 to stick to it, to really for the kids to take to it, and then now we've just run away with it ever since. So I think around that Capon game is really like, okay, you had some momentum, your confidence was up. Now you just took a big loss. How are you going to respond? Is it going to stay up, or are you going to crumble? And the kids said, no, we're not going to crumble. We're going to keep going.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I mean, first and foremost, shout out to Coach Jacks and the staff, because I know like many of people, and I'm, everybody kind of saw that hire and looked at his past records and looked at where he was playing and what was going on. Obviously, he's a Carroll grad. He's been in the system, and that's I don't think that's any secret. That's kind of the Carroll way, right? Like they're trying to find their people that are familiar with their traditions and the way that they want the program to run. And so that's, what they were searching for. And he's kind of, he's elevated a little bit. Like and I'm on the outside looking in, right? So I don't see his day to day. I don't talk to him, like none of that stuff. But it's definitely there was a lot of question marks around the hire, and there was a lot of question marks from ex-players, all the old heads that I'm around. They're like, wait, what? Why? And not a personal thing with him. They just look at his record at the other schools and see where he's been coaching and what he's doing. And so they start going, what? Like, what are we doing? And so I think that, one, he probably carries that mantle a little bit, right? Obviously, it's where he went to school. He has a lot of pride and passion there. He's been around it. So to see him kind of come in and lead a charge that's kind of rejuvenizing Carroll football, I think that is a lot of credit to him stepping up to the plate and filling those shoes and, doing some things because, coming off some tough records and being in a school that's not, winning and not around a winning culture and all the stuff that you're talking about, you can get consumed by that pretty quickly. So to me, that's a pretty cool thing to see. And it's fun for the kids that are there. Cause obviously we work with a lot of Carroll kids. We have kids that come through our program all the time, different sports, different everything. So it's good to just have winning programs and competitive programs that are working because I think it improves the student body across the board. Gives them something to, be proud about and be excited about. So shout out to him for that for sure.
Yeah, he's a great coach. He is a fantastic coach. I mean, no shade to Newton, right? I hope they pull off the upset tonight. But historically, they haven't had a very successful program. And so I think he was just working the best he could with what he had, because again, I mean, shoot, he comes in and now turns his whole program around. Like I said, we
Right.
went from 2-7 to 6-3 right now. So, or no, I'm sorry. Yeah, 6-3, 6-3. So he's a great coach. I love working with him and working beside him. Very smart. He's very passionate, which is great. I mean, we've had some pretty passionate Carroll coaches in the past, at least back when I was there. But
Mhm.
I guess just from hearing it, they weren't as passionate there. I'm trying to say passionate there over these last couple of years, and he's just brought a whole new energy to the team. I mean, shoot, us young guys are like we can get behind it. Are like heck yeah, like let's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
bring the energy up.
Oh, for
So
sure.
no,
Well,
he's a great coach.
you are no short of any type of energy levels, right? And that's something that we've developed over time, right? Like, cause that's a true trait. Like, that's not something that everyone has, right? It's not something that you're always high energy and are always about it and you're always excited and and especially when you're dealing with this many kids, right? Like when you have that many kids that are around you, some of them don't buy into the program, some of them just are there because their dad makes them play, or whatever the case may be. So, a lot of credit to you there as well, coming into a role that you've done, but you haven't done officially, technically, right? Like, so this is a first
Yeah.
go at that. So bringing that energy, is awesome. So let me turn that into a question, right? Like, so that energy, what is the source of that for you, right? How do you have that all the time? Where has that been instilled? Like, what brings that to the table for you every day?
That's a great question. I don't know. I've always been very passionate just about this sport, about how the game works. Been a very competitive person. Um, a lot of it has to do with Parisi too. Like, you would never let me slack off when I come in for a workout. The guys that are around, shoot, really it stems from when I was with that workout, but with Tim and Frenchie and all them, right? Like I'd walk in to go and work out, and Tim's got like Meek Mill blasting on the speakers and getting everybody hype and getting so we're getting it's like okay sweet, like this is awesome, this is that energy that it's bringing that energy, so I'm like okay, this is kind of how it's supposed to be. Well, then senior year of high school, kind of the same thing, where I wish I was a little more energetic and out there, but I think I'm just a naturally energetic person anyway. It's kind of just like my personality, and how I approach things in general. But again, it's culminated over the years of being around just that. Like to be successful in the sport, you're around a bunch of energetic, passionate guys. I mean, again, I credit a lot of things to Coffeyville. I mean, those group of guys that I was around is the same kind of group of guys I was working out with at Parisi. Like we're blasting. I mean, we had successful seasons. We're blasting music during workouts, and we're all flying around, hooting, hollering. Just bring energies everywhere. So you kind of, and I love that. So that kind of sticks with you as you go. And I saw how our coaches, when they get into it too, like they would buy into it. It made us even more, And talking about, bringing that to the kids, I'm blessed to be a part of this team right now with the group of kids we have. We have a great group of kids. I mean, my right guard, he's hilarious. Every time we score a touchdown, he runs off the field and we do some sort of like circle high five touchdown celebration, or we're jumping them down, or I mean, you bring energy and the kids will take to it and they're all hyped up. And then one of the greatest things, me and my offensive coordinator are pretty close. Like I love the guy. He's super cool. After the Derby game, he comes down, he's shaking hands with everybody else. We see each other and we run over and we're hugging, jumping up and down, like getting hyped, getting excited, like the dude freaking kneed me in the balls on accident and it freaking hurt. But like we were so hyped, like we were excited, like it's a cool thing. Before every game, he and I kind of get, fired up together, like it's, me and when other and just I feel like it's a trait that others take to pretty easy, because then they know like, okay, yeah, like this is fun. This is what we want to, this is what how we're supposed to be. This is what we want the kids to feel. This is what breeds just that energy breeds, some sort of success. I think it was, oh, what game was it? I think it was
Please
the
don't
East
say
game.
Derby again.
We can talk about that Derby game here in a minute though, Dave, and I'll just keep rubbing it in. But no, East, I think it was the East game. Our running backs coach and I, it was a play where the O-line had made a great hole. did a good job. And the running back just made a cut and got right in there. And he and I got a penalty because we went past the 20-yard line celebrating, like getting hyped. And, not to throw us under the bus, but like, we were just so hyped and energetic. We got a penalty for going past the 20-yard lines. You know what I mean? But it's like, okay, whatever. Yeah, don't be dumb. Like keep it
Right.
controlled. But it's like, dude, the kids love that. They feed on that energy. So I don't know. Again, and the thing is too, like we've been down. It's like even at the Capon game, the kids could so easily just their energy levels could go way down. They could be defeated. They could feel upset. But what good does it do if I'm like that? You know what I mean? Like I've never wanted to see a coach. You can be passionate and upset, but never like, oh well, I guess that's over. Like no, like you have to keep the kids in it. You can't let them just say, okay, well, whatever. Like that's a terrible mindset and terrible attitude. So I feel like keep the energy up. Just it's a necessity. But I guess like I said, I guess it's just how I am. I'm just a
I mean, it's
energetic guy, I guess.
It's infectious, and I think that the culture of the team responds to that, obviously. And there's different styles of coaching. There's all kinds of different ways that you can use to motivate people and do different things, and people respond differently to the different types of personalities. And some like more of the hard nosed, and some like the more laid back, and then some are looking for the in between, right? I mean, there's a lot of different philosophies behind that. And, I think that there's just pieces that, you got to have a little bit of all of it to really start to breed winning cultures. And, obviously you guys are doing a really good job. And I think the players play is responding to that culture, right? Like they're responding
Yeah.
to what it is. And, you kind of hit on it in different words, but, resiliency is something that comes to mind for me is, even though you're down, right? Even though you're losing a game, even though, especially a rival, the Holy War, the whole thing, and that's at a big stadium, right? A lot of people there, that whole bit, it's about how you respond because, in the big picture at the end of the day, that's not the last game of those kids' careers. That's not the cultivation of what it is going to be for them as far as athletics are concerned, typically not anyway. Right. So, they got to be able to respond, right? That's growth and that's, maturity and learning those situations. And as those situations are going to be the things that, develop you for the rest of your life when the real world comes knocking. And, that's how you're going to be able to respond to the real world stuff and how you see things is, and there's a lot of life lessons in sports, as we all know. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. And, I think you guys are doing a really, really good job there. So let's say just a couple of offhand questions. Walk us through from a coaching perspective. We just talked to a player right before you. So
Nice.
you're asking him some of these questions as well too. We talked to Brodie Jarvis over at Maize.
Right.
He's a defensive back corner for them, probably a little hybrid, moves around a little bit for him. I think he has 6 interceptions on the year. Maize is 8-0. So obviously having a really good season.
Maize have a great season.
Yeah. So they got some ballers over there on the team. So we talked to them. But, walk us through, what's kind of your pregame routines, right? From a coaching perspective, right? Like we got it from a player side earlier this morning. What are some of the things that you're doing, from a pregame routine? We talked to him about, how we asked him, how are your coaches preparing you, right? Like what are the coaches doing? How are they preparing you for stuff, right? What's the other side of that, right? Like what are you doing game day weeks to get your guys ready to go?
So game day weeks, I mean, it's just, as far as practice the week before or the week of goes, right? It's high energy. We have competition periods. We have, we just pin them against each other. Whoever wins, wins. Whoever loses, loses. You do up downs or something if you lose. So just, keep the energy up, keep it high. Really, film afterwards. So it's really just a typical week of practice. It's nothing super out there, but it's effective for what we want to do. We have a lot of, we don't waste time is what I will say. Like every period we have, I mean, I get 3 individual periods, with my offensive line to work on. Okay, here's our everyday drills we need to do. Here's how the D line lines up and how we should run our plays according to how this line works. Any questions? What do you guys want to keep working on? What do we need to keep? Do you have any questions? What do we need to hear? Or it's a pass pro period or it's something like that. Just it's a lot of developmental stuff. Like I said, during the week it's nothing too crazy. It's just like I said, typical practice week. Coach Jax has done something new that I didn't do when I was a senior. And it's, we eat, they still go to chapel in the morning. We do mass on Thursday. So instead of mass right before the game, we do mass on Thursday, the day before. And then they go to chapel in the morning on Friday. And then, it's just eat. And then Coach Jackson will go take them through a little workout. Like we will go. I haven't gone and seen it, but he'll go, get them warmed up, get them loose. I don't know what kind of workout it is. Like I said, I haven't been in there for it. But we'll go work, let the kids work out, get the blood flowing, get them kind of loose. And I mean, I don't know. I think that's really helped them out. It's kind of like any nerves they might have. Well, you get it out in this little work. It's like 15, 20 minutes. I think it's nothing super long or super crazy, but it's, like, hey, any nerves, you got to get out, so the kids will go and like bend or like, I don't know what they do. So I don't, I can't tell you what they do, but, they'll do something. And it's really helped the kids kind of just de-stress and get ready to go play, get that adrenaline flowing.
I love that.
And then the coaches, while they're doing that, we're either in the coach's office game planning or we're, talking about it, or, I mean, we're just, it's constantly, okay, how's tonight going to go? Our offensive coordinator's sitting there. He's writing down like what our first 5 plays are. We're making our script. We're doing, like we're watching more film. Like we're, it's very, war room ready, I guess you can say, is we're in there just game planning. And then, I mean, I have my own superstitions and pregame rituals that I do. I think it was
go into some detail on that.
I gotcha. I think it was week 2 or week 3 before every game, the BCPO, the parents organization, they'll give us like goodie bags, and in one of the goodie bags, they gave us holy water in like a little, like when you want to, you're using like lighter fluid and it's got the little tip,
Yeah.
It's got like that kind of a tip.
Starter.
And so before every game, I'll grab that holy water, I'll put some on my hand and I'll do the sign of the cross. I'm like, hey, bless us, bless this team, like just when I started doing that. Because I was like, well, I'm not just gonna have a bottle of holy water, might as well use it, So I was like, well, so I do that before every game. I have a it's not in here. I think I left it in my locker. I have a lucky marker. One day I grabbed a marker from somewhere to help draw up stuff, and then I'll like hold it here and use it. And that was against Derby, actually. So it was against Derby. I grabbed that marker at halftime and I kept it in my pocket in case anyone needed it. And we won the game by holding it. So I was like, well, that's our lucky marker now. So I held it last night.
From this office or something? I mean, we have markers
No,
everywhere and we might be missing one. What color?
No, not that office. I haven't been there in like months. You know that. But I had it in my pocket and we won. So
You should sign that marker at the end of the season and bring that.
I'll use it. Yeah, I'll use it. I'll use it to come in
Bring
there
it
and
to me?
sign something.
Sign
What
it.
color's the marker?
Sign it, bring
That's-
it to Dave and put the Derby score on it with your signature on
good.
I
it.
will, because it was from it was from the Derby week. So no, and so just a typical black Expo marker, nothing special.
Okay.
It's just super lucky.
Hey, I've won 2 games with it now.
There you
So,
go. Yeah.
But so I got a lucky marker, and then there's the thing, just because I think it's pretty cool. Gosh, the little things you will experience while doing this is awesome. So I'll walk up to my players, mainly the starters, right? My starting offensive line, or like a quarterback or a tight end or just whoever, right? Whatever star I pass by. And I'll go, hey, let's go tear some stuff up tonight, right? And I'll high five them, and then I'll punch their chest. Like I'll take my fist and just in their chest, like like let's go, right? I'll punch their chest, and just a little pregame thing I do, like, hey, now it's time to go, and the kids like it. And I know, I think they like it because our left guard, who season-ending injury, unfortunately, right? He got hurt in the Derby game. So we had to put his backup left guard in, which was his first game, and he did great. He's really taking to it. But he was sitting over in the locker room and, kind of upset he didn't get to play. And I walk over and I say, hey, man, let's go tear stuff up. And I do it. I high five him, kind of. He's no pads, whatever. I high five him and I punch him in the chest, and he just starts smiling. He looks up, starts smiling. Yeah, like let's, team, let's go. So I don't know, I think it's just a little thing. I do it to everybody. Like I said, all the starters, for the offense. It's just a little thing that I guess is, one, ritualistic for me. Like I enjoy doing it. It's kind of like now it's time. It's game time, and so just like little things like that. And then I have my own pregame drills. I have them run and stuff like that. But it's those other little things that I think are.
You're the young guy that brings the hype for sure. Everywhere you go, you bring that hype.
Well, and those kids will remember that too. Those little things are very, very important little things. And those are the things that when they look at you as a coach, they'll remember those things about you, and that's the part, in my words, I always say, of like, giving back to the game, right? Like that's the stuff that you ain't gonna see on a stat sheet. You're not gonna see in like the pregame plan, that type of stuff, right? But like that's where those little bits become super impactful for the kids, and it's stuff that stick with them, and they'll remember about you. Because they're like, yeah, you guys remember Coach Brock? He just punched me in the chest before every single game, right? Like that's going to be a conversation at some point in time, and it'll be a good core memory for them. And those are very important. So that's awesome, man. Well, it's awesome to hear how well things are going for you, how excited you are in that aspect, and in the pieces that are happening. Do you guys do like pregame meals? Is that still a thing? I
Yeah.
think every team kind of does that. Who does your
Yeah.
guys' meals?
The BCPO, and they do
Okay.
a great job. I mean, the food's always really good, and we
We had
appreciate them
steak
for
this
just
morning, so we want to make sure we highlight a little bit about some food in our pods here. Dave's got our bag over here. Yeah, booth beef
nice
wagyu. That's what we had this morning.
fire.
Yeah, it was good, really good.
Fire. No, yeah, they do, and they do a good job. The BCPO does a lot for us, and we're always very appreciative of what they do, and just the little things they do. I mean, they started hanging up they'll make a design every week for our opponent, or like for us to beating our opponent. And they'll hang it up in our locker room like a little banner. Like it was yesterday it was Stomp the Hornets or something like that.
What
And it
was
was
the
like a
Derby one?
design of
Let's
what?
say, what was the Derby one? Just so Dave knows.
Oh, I want to say it was like Punish the Panthers.
Oh,
Yeah, it was Punish the Panthers, and it was like a chain wrapped around the Derby logo with like our claw on it or something. Like it was pretty sick. So I mean, like I said, the goodie bags, the food. I mean, like the parents organization has always been really, really good to us, and they've always been a great, just motivator for everybody, and provider. So they're there. We owe a lot to. We really appreciate the BCPO.
So what was for dinner last night?
Spaghetti, and it was fire. Spaghetti, garlic bread, and they made some fire cookies. I'm talking
I
like
love garlic bread.
pumpkin, some sort of pumpkin cookies, snickerdoodles, chocolate chip. I'm like, dude, this is a fat guy's dream.
It was fat guy's dream.
It was a fat guy's dream. It was awesome.
Garlic bread all day. I love garlic bread with a bunch of melted butter on it. Oof.
It was fire. It was so fire. Oh my gosh.
So I asked Brodie when we talked to him. I'll ask you. It's a little bit different perspective, and obviously it might be tough to get just one of these, but who would be on your guys' team currently right now? Like, who is like your guy? Who's your favorite player? Your guy that and again, it's hard to get one, but you got to pick one, right? So, and I know that you want to say the whole line. Everybody's been doing the work. Everybody, you love them all. Like I got all the, I know the PR answers, but give us the, give us the one guy that that if you're going to give the most
So you're trying to
valuable
get me
player
fired
award-
after my first year, man. You're trying to get me
Hey,
fired
the team's going to hand out the MVP award, right? So it's going to happen at the end of the season anyway. Like who is that guy for you that you've seen that, whether it's, maybe it isn't even your position group, right? Maybe it's just a team guy.
Yeah.
But who is the guy that, is your number one guy in your head?
Yeah, the guy that puts in the work that you really just, celebrate.
That's so tough. Like it's like, and not just because it's like the PR answer. Like obviously I love my offensive line, and I think they're all studs, right? I think everyone on our team is a bunch of studs, right? PR answer out of the way.
Yeah.
But it's tough, dude, because we don't. It's like every week there's that one guy. You know what I'm saying? Like the East week, it was our tight end, who's an absolute stud. Yesterday, it was, I think, the offensive line, we drove them at like we had 5 yards of push every play. Or not last week, yesterday. Did I say yesterday or last week? I think I said yesterday.
Yeah.
Derby week, it was our running back. I mean, it was our running back and quarterback, Northwest week, it was our starting quarterback who got hurt, So it's just, oh my gosh.
This is your fantasy team. You got to pick one. Okay. It's a fantasy
I'm
dream.
trying. I'm really trying. Oh, who's my number one overall pick?
Himself.
Yeah. No. God almighty.
Sean is alive, by the way. We just heard him. That's enough.
That's enough. Dude, it's just so tough. I want to say, honestly, okay, I'm going to say my left guard, and I'll tell you why. The one that's hurt, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Okay. I'll tell you why. He was a linebacker at the very start of the season. Okay. Linebacker at the very start of the season. A freshman beat him out for his spot. And I said, give me him. I will take him. He's built like a lineman. Give me him. I'll do it. And he has run away with it ever since.
Nice.
Okay. Now, there's a little bit of bias towards it because it's offensive line.
Sure.
But if you want a hardworking kid who will not talk back, who'll just go and do stuff and has been a stud. I mean, our offensive line has been a lot. Now, again, his backup that we put in last night would have been the starter if we didn't get him. So he's a good player. Like, he did good last night. But this dude's a dog. I mean, he's different. Like, he is very quiet. Now, actually, he's very quiet when he's working, but he will talk crap when stuff goes off. And it's so funny to listen to him talk crap when things go well. Like in practice, he'll like say we we win a competition period and break a run for 20 yards. He's jumping around our DN like talking mad crap. Like you're just getting, and it's all in good fun, like he's not like being a jerk. But I mean, dude's a freak in the weight room. I think he just started benching. Like, he just got a max of 315 on bench the other day as a junior.
Nice.
Squats 450. I mean, dude's a dog. He's a real stud. It's unfortunate he broke his leg, but yeah, if I had to say anyone, it's him. At least he's my number one. If I had to say anybody, he's my number one.
Well, and that's pretty cool that he's got a positional change, right? Like, so mid-season.
Yeah,
dealing with
that's why I'm like, he's got to be
there.
number one because I mean, you change positions. Like mid-season. I think it was probably after it was before the season. I think it was
Okay.
before we started playing. So it
Okay.
was before the season he changed, but he's developed super well. No, again, not that everyone hasn't developed super.
Sure.
I mean, I've seen my entire offensive line. It's clicked with them. I think it started clicking around, like I said, the Cape weekend, or not even then, but like the South and all that. Like the chemistry they've all built has been fantastic. So I would die for every single one of them. I love them all. But yeah, if I had to pick one, it's him. Like, again, and really because I feel it with I kind of relate to him in the same way. Like junior year, I changed from defense to offense, and it set me up for success with my playing career. So I really relate to him, just a lot closer.
Yeah.
In that regard, But no, never talks back, never gives an excuse. Again, he's one of those, it's kind of funny because I won't ever really rip into him, but I'll lay into him when he does something wrong or just mess up or whatever, and he'll kind of hang his head and I'll tap his chest. And I'm like, hey, dude, you're good. Like, it's okay. And he'll start smiling, look up, start smiling, all that sort of
What's
stuff.
his name?
So Sean Armbruster.
It's Najee's brother.
Sean Armbruster. He's a junior and he's an absolute dog. I love the kid. He's a very energetic, positive presence also, he's very.
Is he from the Bahamas?
No.
Okay, it's not his brother then.
Not his brother.
No. He is well, a Kansas kid.
Is he a SEAN or an SHAWN?
SEAN.
Oh.
He's an SEAN.
Of course, he's a dog.
He's acceptable. He's okay.
All right. Yeah.
Sean gives the stamp of approval. Then that's good.
We'll take it. No, he's a great kid. So he'd have to be the number one right now for me.
That's awesome. I think that those kind of stories are really, really cool because high school kids in this day and age compared to what they were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, just dealing with that style of adversity, it as well as the rest of us because we see it all the time. I mean, that is a recipe for failure, right? Like people crumble under that type of adversity in this day and age. They don't understand what it's like to have to, battle through essentially a coach telling you, you're not good enough for this spot. What are you going to do about it? You know what I mean? What, are you going to strap it up, work harder, go earn it? Right. And maybe it's a different position and that's okay. Like he's on the field, like he's busting his butt and he's out there earning his keep. And, obviously you took a little bit of a flyer on him as well too, but you saw the intangibles, right? What did you see? You saw athlete, you saw hard work, you saw grit and resiliency, right? And
he's 6'1", 6'2". He's 200 pounds. He's not a very big kid, but he's a strong kid. I'm like, dude, and I've always told these guys, strength and technique will beat size every single time because I had to do that.
Right.
I mean, I was 6'3". I'm 6'3". I was probably 235 pounds when I graduated, and I out-techniqued a lot of guys at Coffeyville to make that roster. So I tell these guys, I don't care how big these freaking dudes are. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Right? If you will have better technique and more grit than they will, you'll whoop them.
Yeah. Good words.
9 times out of 10.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's it's good to hopefully a listener, somebody who is here, hears that for their own athletes that they might be around, but just anybody that's listening, right? Like listen to what a coach, right, at a good program is essentially saying is yeah, the game of football is complex and there's a lot of skill-based things that you're gonna have to learn in a position that you're gonna have to learn, right? But what are the things that stood out to you? The things that stood out are all of the things that everybody has an opportunity to control. All of the athletes that are on the field can work on themselves. They can get better at those things. They can control that. And coaches are looking for those guys. Like coaches are looking for the dudes that want to be there. They want to work harder than everyone else. They want to listen. They want to shut their mouths. They want to just put their nose down and get to work, right? They want them to be fast. They want them to be strong. They want them to be athletes first. And if you are an athlete first, there's gonna be a spot on the team for you, right? That is a perfect example that was not even probed for Parisi, even though we talk about that all the time. But I mean, it's just true. Like in your sport, every sport, doesn't matter what the sport is, right? That is always going to reign supreme. Now, granted, you get into college, professional sports, right? Everybody is a good athlete, right? You're not the margins there are just completely different. But the reality of it is if you don't have that, right? Let's just say that kid lost his position, but then you looked at him and he was he didn't work hard. He wasn't fast. He wasn't strong, right? He wasn't any of those things. You wouldn't be sticking your neck out for him as a positions coach. You wouldn't be like, oh, no, 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 I want this kid, right? You would immediately move past that kid because those intangibles aren't there. They're not in place. You're not going to look at that and go, ugh, I got to put 50 pounds on this kid for him to play the line for me. Like, like it's just you have to be ready and you have to be ready at all times by the time you get to your high school sports. And don't get me wrong, there's still room for development, but
yeah, and he's a testament to that. I mean, again, the kid has made the offensive line better because of his attitude, his work ethic, and how technically sound and strong he is. Like he has made a difference. It's not like I was like, okay, let me give him a try. Oh, never mind, he sucks because he's not 300 pounds. Like, no, he's a dog.
Right.
And I mean, look the other way. Credit to that freshman that took his linebacker spot. The dude, when we stopped Derby on 4th and 1, that was the kid that made the play, that broke through that O-line and got that kid's ankle in the backfield to get a turnover for us to just kneel the ball and get out of there. Like, so he's a stud athlete too.
Yep.
Like it's just putting us in the best position to succeed, and it's because of, and again, he's a freshman. He's not huge, but he's an athlete, like.
That's awesome.
So.
No, that's a great story. That's really cool. Hopefully somebody listens to that and understands where they should be spending their time and, working on different things and, just paying attention to the stuff. But well, Brock, awesome, man. Thank you for kind of hopping on with us, hopping on here, answer some questions, giving us a little bit of insight, to what it is that, you guys are doing and why you guys are having success with the culture and, kind of changing, the tides there for Carroll football and moving it into a good direction and hopefully for a direction that it stays for a very long time. I always, this is kind of my sign off question is, kind of what is, when you obviously you coach athletes, all different levels, all different abilities, obviously working with us here at Parisi and, bringing the energy and that whole bit, right? When whoever's going to watch this, right. And they see it and they look at you and they're like, oh man, that guy's awesome. Like I want to work with that guy, right? Like what's your one, it could be a couple things, but like, what's your piece of advice for, those kids that are looking at you, seeing your program, seeing what you're doing? Like what's one piece of advice for those younger kids that are trying to do what you did, right? You've had a super successful football career. You started training with me when you were like 11, 12 years old, something like that. Like you were a young kid, probably 134 pounds, right? Like 140 pounds, something like that. Like I got pictures, so I'll find and post them if I need to.
Yeah.
You were skin and bones. You moved around like a giraffe. Like you were, like it was a tough start, but like we stayed consistent. You bought into yourself. You started to believe in yourself. I put you around people that pushed you. Like I put you around older guys that I knew you would look up to. And then we created culture. And then I think that culture has stuck with you through your playing career. Now moving into your coaching career, that you are now able to now give back, right? Like you're giving back to the game. and you're creating something awesome for new kids, right? So that's that is jobs done, right? Like we're moving
Appreciate
and
that. Yeah.
we're growing. And so what's your advice for those kids that are looking at you that one might want to work with you, or the ones that are coming up trying to just have some direction and kind of see where they should go, what they should do, etc.
Yeah. Really, it's just, I mean, work hard. I mean, really, it really is. It's that simple. It comes down to it. Just work hard. I mean, I've had a lot of coaches even tell me when I was in Missouri Western and they, do little player profiles. One thing my offensive line coach described me as was a very quiet kid, head down, working hard. Like a hard working, head down, kind of just, a work hard kind of kid. And I think it's been very advantageous to me throughout my entire career. Where it's a coach tells me to do something, I go do it. It's not an excuse. It's not. I'll ask questions like, okay, either why or how, or like, I'll ask the questions, but it's never like I try to argue it back or anything like that. It's just go do it. I really wish, when I really started working, and I'll admit when I didn't really start working my hardest until like the end of my junior year. That summer before senior year, you remember that? I mean, that's when it really took off. And then it benefited me that season. I wish I would have started a lot, don't let the connection of, okay, now I need to start working hard be too late. You know what I mean? Like let that click in your brain a whole lot earlier. I'm talking, freshman year. I mean, there's a freshman, or I guess he's a sophomore, that I'm trying to come be a select athlete with me because he's an athlete. I think he's a great kid, and I want him to come over being athlete. I want to help. I want to get him started earlier than I did because I know it'll help him in the long run. You know what I mean?
Right.
So for the for the kids that are starting up and coming or whatever it may be, just hunker down. It'll be fun. You'll find the people that'll do it with you also. But it's the most rewarding thing in the world when you put in a hell of a lot of work and it pays off and it shows it.
Yeah.
Like I didn't realize, even looking back on it, I'm like, wow, yeah, that hard work, even though it was hard, now I have a great story to tell.
Yeah.
Now I have some credit under my belt because of that. You know what I mean? So, and it's not even just trying to wash it, go through the old machine wash and just regurgitate everything. It's regurgitated for a reason. It's the stigma just in sports for a reason, is that hard work pays dividends for sure. So
Yep.
that's really all I can attest to.
No,
It's that's the kind of kids the coaches love the most.
Yep.
Is the ones that'll just do their work, and if I'm ever wrong, I will, we can admit when we're wrong.
Yep.
But if a kid'll know I'm wrong, as if I am, right, and will still go do it and make it work, that's the kind of kid that's the kind of kid coaches want to have.
Yep. Yep.
So
that's awesome, man. Well, I think that hopefully that resonates with somebody listening, and we're going to obviously share this and put stuff out there, and hopefully a kid hears that and, changes the trajectory of their career and their life because they make a decision that if it is what they want to do, if sports is what they're trying to get into, that they started earlier and they focus on those little things to where it provides them opportunity down the road. And don't wait, don't think you're too cool to do the work. Don't think that it's something that you can slack off on and expect to just work, because those kids are a dime a dozen, right? Like it's very, very, very hard to just be athletically gifted, and not have to put the work behind it. And and I'm not saying it's not possible, because there's some freaking natures out there, and they've got some things that are hard to explain. For the most part, the common athlete, like, you're gonna have to put in the extra work, the hard work, the stuff that isn't fun. But it's a decision that you have to make, and you have to go and be fully committed to that decision if you want to see the results of playing at the next level and being successful. And, and those life lessons, as we said earlier, are going to be the things that stick with you and then come out, later in life down the road. So, well, thanks, Brock. I appreciate you hopping on with us. Hopefully this was fun for you. This
was awesome. I appreciate you guys letting me come on and chat. One more thing. Hey, Dave, real quick. Even my WSU history teacher knows that we beat Derby. So you can hold that. For sure.
Thank you. I'll put that in my pocket forever.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's still
Wow.
pumped. He's still pumped.
Hey, congrats on the dub though. That's huge against a big program.
I'm just messing with you, but yeah, first time in 10 years, and it was the last time we took him off our schedule for next season. So it was the last time we were going to play him.
Oh, wow.
Man. Wow.
Give him a parting gift. I like it.
I suppose so. But
Nice.
no, Derby's a great team. It was really real fun to beat them. I mean, credit to them. They've always been a powerhouse. So, but it was fun. It was a good hard win. But anyway, I appreciate you guys having me on. This was fun. This
Awesome,
was pretty sweet.
Sounds good.
So,
We'll see you soon. You can hop off there, and then I'll holler at you later, man.
I got you. Catch y'all later.
See you, man.
See ya.
Bro.
That dude is on fire, man. So much energy. Obviously helping the program over there and doing a lot of cool things. And we're excited to have him back here at Pedruzzi as well too, because the kids get pumped up around him and get excited. A lot of good moving parts with it and a lot of cool things. But yeah, that's all for today. Friday Night Lights. Got to talk to some football people, doing some cool stuff out there. Obviously, good luck to Maize tonight after speaking with Brodie. Good luck to the other teams that we kind of talked about, and obviously for the teams where seasons ended last night, big thing for them is to get right back on it, right? Get back to the work. That's kind of the message of the day, I think, is, season ended yesterday, it's time to get back to work and focus on, the next piece of the goals and, what's out there in front of you. Don't dwell on it. It's over. Move along. So awesome. That's all I got. Anything else from you guys?
No, that was some awesome interviews, and it was very cool to hear that, not only from a player but from a coach. Living that dream of building the program up, and then also an athlete that dual sport athlete, just working and making things happen.
Yep.
Well, do we kick it over to Sean or for our closing prayer,
Let's
like
do our
always?
closing prayer.
All right, we can do that.
Lord, thank you for just giving us another day, giving us another opportunity. Thank you for your grace and your mercy. We cannot find that anywhere else. We cannot find your peace anywhere else. The things of this world are finite. As much as the blessings are great, whether we play a sport, whether we coach a sport, whether we coach athletes, much of those blessings are great, and how much you can teach us through those things. Know that they're of this world and they're not eternal like you are. And just pray that we all cling on to that as we go through the ups and downs of life. In your glorious name we pray, Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Well, that's it for episode 10, Kansas Sports HQ. We'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.